What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the best speed drills you can do to improve your overall speed, explosiveness, and power. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Let's get started. But also, fellas, we're going to be traveling out to 10 different states across the country this year for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So next up on our camp tour, we are going to be coming out to St. Louis, Missouri. Then we'll be heading out to Honolulu, Hawaii, Boston, Massachusetts, Cleveland, Ohio. Then we're going to be coming out to Austin, Texas. Then we'll be heading out to Newark, New Jersey, Seattle, Washington, Denver, Colorado, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those cities and would like to train with us for 2 whole days, check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. We'd love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so when it comes to speed, when it comes to overall just running mechanics, your foot strike is one of the most important things that will help you run fast. You guys have probably seen athletes all over that run very, very flat-footed, right? So they'll run, whether they're running like they're a receiver running a route, there's a regular athlete just trying to run hard, they'll be stepping very, very flat-footed. And when you're flat-footed, you cannot explode up with your stride. You want to make sure that when we strike the ground, we're not on my tippy toes because we're not a ballerina, but we're on the ball of my foot. The ball of your foot is where you can get as much explosion as possible and be able to shoot up and drive your knee up, which in turn will lengthen your stride and improve your speed. So that's what this first drill is going to be working on. It's going to be solely working on your foot strike. So throughout this video, these drills are going to progressively get a little bit more advanced. So this first one's kind of a beginner drill that you could add to your warm-up routine that will help you with speed. So it's called the straight-legged run. So you need maybe like 10 yards of space, don't need a lot of space, but all you're going to be doing is not bending your knees and just going to be running. So all you're going to be doing is just here on a ball of your foot, straight-legged run, fast hands, fast feet, all the way for 10 yards. I'm going to show you how each drill that we discuss in this is going to look full speed, but most important thing is striking the ground on the ball of that foot, keeping those legs straight, because that's the only way you can move with those legs straight. That's why it's such a great drill, because again, if you guys do this and you're on your straight leg and try to do this on your heels, you can't do it, right? You have to be on the ball of your foot, and that will strengthen that position to translate to on-field speed. Like I said, I'm going to show you this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so a big thing about running a fast 40 time, the big thing about just running fast in general is you have to be able to generate explosion and power off of a single foot. So when we run, you never at one point have 2 feet in the ground. That's just not how it works, right? So basic running mechanics, you take a stride, let's say I'm striding with my left foot. When my left foot touches, my right foot comes up. You need to be able to generate power off of one single foot. That's why it's super, super important as, you know, if you're a wide receiver, if you're a quarterback, if you're just any position in general, you need to work on that single leg explosion, maybe a single leg lateral change of direction, anything that's going to activate that fast twitch off of that single foot, and that's what this next drill is going to do. So I was taught this is called the triple jump. I don't think that would be probably the correct name of it. This would I would call this like kind of a single leg snatch, if you will, but some people call it a triple jump. That's how I was taught, but that might not be the name that you know of this exercise. But at the end of the day, we're trying to generate power solely off of your right or your left foot. So you need maybe 10 yards of space. All you were doing is you're going to jump off of the right foot and try to snatch your knee up to your chest. And it's very important that you don't let your ankle stay in that plantar flex position where it's pointed down. You want to keep it dorsiflexed, which is a fancy word for keep your ankle flexed and your toes up. So as you roll through this, ankle flexed, toe flexed, all we're doing is just snatching my knee up, snatching my toe up, all the way for 10 yards. This is a great drill to work on explosiveness, that knee drive, which in turn will make you run a faster 40, but also make you just a faster athlete in general. So I'm going to show you this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill is going to work on that same thing, that single leg explosion, and this is going to be a lot for I would say lateral change of direction, but it can ultimately help with speed because it works on that single leg explosion like we just mentioned. So you're going to need a 10-yard space. You're essentially, this is almost like I think of this like a pitcher, like he's coming off of a mound, right? Like he's pitching up, he brings his knee up and he's pushing off of this back leg. That's essentially what we're going to be working on. But we're not going to let my knee cave in like a pitcher. We're trying to keep a good compact position with my leg. So pretty much what you're going to do, and I'm going to show you this full speed as well, but you need a 10-yard space. You're going to be on one leg. All you were going to be doing, both feet are going to hit the ground at a certain point, but you're going to be pushing off the right leg, reaching with the left. And as soon as that right foot hits the ground, you are going to push push to generate that single leg explosion and to generate that fast twitch anytime your foot hits the ground. Obviously, you want to work this on both sides. I would say maybe do about 5 sets of 10 to 15 yards on each leg, but every single time that right or that left foot hits, we are pushing off of it to work on every single time I'm running at full stride, that when that foot hits, I'm driving to explode up and generate more speed and more power. I'm going to show you this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill is going to help you guys with the get off of like a 40-yard dash, so like that first like 5 yards, that drive phase where you're trying to be as explosive as possible, but also help you guys with just any athletic position of no momentum. Like let's say, for example, you're a linebacker coming out of a stance and you need to explode. You're a receiver, which I know most of you are, coming out of a stance trying to explode off the ball. This will help with that. So they're called falling get-offs. So very simple drill, but it works on that knee drive and you being as explosive as possible to get you out of the blocks for a 40-yard dash. So when it comes down to a 40-yard dash, those first, like I said, the first 5 to 10 yards, that drive phase, super important, because if you just run a 40-yard dash and you stand up and try to run as hard as you can, your body cannot exert max force or max like effort, I guess you could say, for 40 yards. You need to be as explosive as possible for 5 to 10 yards to set you up for acceleration so you hit that finish line at 40 yards with top speed. So this works on that. So you're going to be here, very, very simple drill. All you're doing is you're going to start here, you're going to come up on your toes, you're going to fall, 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 and as soon as you're about to fall flat on your face, you're going to snatch your knee up to your chest, very similar to that triple jump exercise that we were doing, and explode out for just 10, maybe 10 to 15 yards just to work on that powerful get off the line. So we call it falling starts or falling get offs. I'm going to show you this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, now I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you that, working on your hip mobility, your hip flexibility wasn't gonna help your speed. You could just do these drills, come out to the field, and then you're gonna be faster, right? But a lot of times guys physically cannot do these types of drills because their hips are so stiff. They physically, like their full stride is probably like this high. Your full stride needs to be here and you need to have strength and mobility at that position. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 easy stretches that you guys could do every night, every morning to loosen up your hips to make you a faster athlete. Because I'll tell you this, I was always that kid who ran like a 4.8, 4.9 40 freshman in high school, flat out slow. I thought I played much faster than that, but that's not that fast, right? When you think about the grand scheme of things. And I did all the speed work, hills, sleds, running mechanics, everything you could think of. And I didn't get faster until I started stretching. And I got that from an Olympic speed coach who told me that. If you look him up, his name is Maurice Green. He maybe came and worked out with us like maybe once or twice with the trainer that I used to go to. Once or twice, just picking his brain, asking him like, hey, what can I do? What did you do? What is this? What is that? And he said one of the things like, what's your schedule? I told him. He's like, how often do you stretch? I said, I never stretch. That was the single thing that dropped me from a 4.8 all the way down to like high 4.5 something. You know what I mean? That's not bad. For in high school, I thought that was pretty good. And again, it was just from lengthening that stride and loosening up my hips to make them a little bit more mobile. Okay, so that's the one thing that I can tell you about this. So now, when it comes down to this stretch, this is the big one. I got this from like a wrestling coach as well to work on opening up your hips because he has his wrestlers do this because in wrestling it's very important that you have loose hips to defend a takedown and move around. So he would have you go here, you go up to a 90, you try to keep your hips and your shoulders square, you go out, and then you kick down. And you should hear a pop in your hip and in your groin when you do this. So you go up again, go out, kick out. And you should hear a pop, like I said, but that is a great stretch to loosen up those hips. It will also help with your stride. And then last but not least, this is something that helped me out a lot. It's gonna hurt, I'm gonna warn a lot of you, but it's called the sumo squat. So all you do is you get down into like a squat position, like you got a barbell on your back, widen your feet out a little bit, and you're going to squat down. And when you squat down, you're going to try to keep your chest up. If you have a partner with you, have them put their knee in the middle of your back to shoot your hips forward, and that's really going to hurt, but it'll loosen up your hips, and it's not going to kill you. So you go down, you take your elbows, and you press outward on your knees, and you try to stand up with your chest. And that is a great, great stretch to loosen up those hips, loosen up that groin, which ultimately will make you stride longer, which can translate to on-field speed. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you'd like to train with us in 10 different states this off-season, don't hesitate. Check out that very first link in that description below if you're coming to a state near you. I'll see you guys next time.